And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me via my YouTube channel, I'll keep saying it until we hit it. Make sure you're subscribing. We are rolling to 2,000 subscribers very fast. It's going to be a big week. Right now, you can check out my top 20 running back ADP evaluations on The Athletic. Great deals going on to get a subscription for 50% off for the first year. A great deal going on with the fantasy football draft kit. There's a lot of information, a few articles in there for myself, from my main man, Brandon Howard, and many, many other fantasy writers. So if you're somebody that's into fantasy football, especially, this is the time to be a member of The Athletic. So go ahead and get that subscription right now. I also have a video up right now if you're into the coaching aspect about Cover 3. Go check that out on my YouTube channel, Coach Gene Clemens. You can always follow me here, obviously, on Twitter or on Facebook, wherever you may be following me. I really do appreciate anybody that's tuning in right now or have tuned in since I've been doing these live morning little 10, 15-minute vignettes, if you will. Yesterday, I got into an argument on Twitter over something that I thought was benign and could just be cleared up with some better explanation. But a person that I value, because he usually has an opinion and he's willing to stick by his opinion regardless of what people say about it. He described the competition between Cam Newton and Mac Jones. And what he said was, he said that Mac Jones processed faster. Now, I've heard this word be used before when we're talking quarterback evaluations, but here's the thing. I've only ever heard it used as a way of giving one quarterback a decided advantage over another quarterback, and it always seems to happen when we're talking about a white quarterback as opposed to a black quarterback. Anytime we see the processing word used, it's usually a white quarterback over a black quarterback. I'll give you the example. Teddy Bridgewater processes better than Drew Lock. Yet nobody used that as reasoning for Teddy Bridgewater to win the starting job in Denver. Nobody gave him credit because his processing is faster, because he thinks the game faster, because that's what we're talking about. He makes decisions faster. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about processing. But the truth is, you don't have to use that word for Teddy Bridgewater. You can just say he gets rid of the ball faster. It's not that he's processing faster, it's that he gets rid of the ball faster. But here's the thing about the word processing. When you say the word processing, you bring into the conversation intelligence. And if you're trying to say that's not what you're doing, you're just lying. You feel as if you're being attacked, and that's what happened in this back and forth between me and this gentleman. You feel attacked because you think that if somebody says you're questioning a quarterback, especially a black quarterback's processing, that you're being racist. And it doesn't mean that you're a racist. That's just way too easy. You people don't give us enough credit when it comes to what we think is racist and what we don't. I don't think you're a racist if you just have a slanted view on how to evaluate. If you don't understand the difference between processing and getting the ball out quickly, then I can't help you. Like, that's not racist. That's just poor evaluation. And I'm okay with that. People can call me arrogant. You can say whatever you want. That's fine. But at the end of the day, Mac Jones gets the ball out of his hand quicker because Mac Jones has been told since he took the starting job at Alabama, catch, step, throw. And anytime it is not on that rhythm, he struggles. It's really easy to see. If he's not on rhythm, if he's not on timing, he struggles. That's not processing, ladies and gentlemen. That's not. Processing would be going through your reads and then making the right decision. I process what's going on, I evaluate it, and then I come out with the solution. Boom. First option's there, I take it. First option's not there, I look at second option's not there, I look at third option, boom, I take it. Cam Newton does not get rid of the ball quickly. You know why he doesn't get rid of the ball quickly? For the same reason that Ben Roethlisberger didn't get rid of the ball quickly for many, many years. Why? Because he didn't have to. That's it. You want to know why Lamar Jackson holds the ball longer? It's not that his processing is slow. It's that his athletic ability allows him to do something that Mac Jones could never even dream about. He can keep a play alive longer so that he can go through all of his progressions. This isn't brain surgery. This isn't rocket science. You can't have it both ways. You can't tell me that Teddy Bridgewater is limited and that he's not somebody that's a long-term answer because he just gets rid of the ball and checks it down a lot, and then celebrate Mac Jones for doing that same thing. You can't tell me, well, Tyrod Taylor can't be a starting quarterback because he's risk averse, and then turn around and give me the white equivalent of Tyrod Taylor without the athletic ability and tell me, well, you know, he just processes the game and he makes quick decisions. He's decisive. He doesn't put the ball in jeopardy. You're changing the narrative. And we change the narrative always when it comes to the evaluation of athletic black quarterbacks. And we don't give the same credence, we don't give the same value, to their white counterparts. It's not racism. We're not talking about racism here, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about a flawed logic when it comes to evaluation. We're talking about a flawed logic when it comes to evaluation. People were ready to throw Jameis Winston away in Tampa Bay because he turned the ball over too much. And yet, Brett Favre went damn near 20 years without missing a start. And every year he turned the ball over at a ridiculous clip. Eli Manning never had his job in jeopardy, and he's going to go down as a quarterback with one of the most turnovers in the history of the game. When Peyton Manning's first 4 to 5 years, he was turning the ball over at a clip, by the way, very similar to Jameis. He just never had 30. When he was turning the ball over at a clip, nobody ever talked about getting rid of him. Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards and 30-plus touchdowns. And because he turned the ball over a lot, A guy who has a nickname or a moniker that's called No Risk It, No Biscuit, got rid of him and brought in the most risk-averse quarterback in the history of the NFL. Then Winston had to take a ridiculously small deal to go to New Orleans to be the third string quarterback because New Orleans wanted to roll with a Taysom Hill experiment, a guy who has never been good at throwing the ball. Then had the audacity to have an open competition when everybody knew that Jameis Winston's skill set matched what the New Orleans Saints have been missing over the past 5 years with Drew Brees. And that is an ability to push the ball down the field. For as great as Drew was, once his arm was shot and he was no longer able to drive the ball deep, he became a liability. And it always showed itself in the playoffs. He was still really good, but defenses understood how to scheme him. Sit on top of the short stuff. He won't be able to get it deep. So sit on top of the short stuff. Every time we evaluate Lamar, well, he still isn't processing the game fast enough. Cam Newton's been in the league for how many years? Doing what? Just continuing to get better and better when he's healthy. And the evaluation on him is that a rookie came in and processes the game faster just because he catch steps and throws. I'm pretty sure until last night, where the Giants didn't play any of their starters, at least not for any legitimate amount of time, his average yards per throw was like 4, 5. That is not somebody who is processing quickly. That is someone who's just getting rid of the ball. Baker Mayfield didn't start processing faster. They started doing more play action with Baker Mayfield, relying on the run. That allowed him to be able to go through his progressions and then use the tools that God gave him, and voila, he was better. Amazing. The reason that Deshaun Watson is special as a quarterback is because he doesn't have to catch, step, and throw. That's what makes Kyler Murray special. That's what makes Russell Wilson special. That's what makes, by the way, Aaron Rodgers special. But no one has ever questioned Aaron Rodgers' processing because he holds on to the ball longer than your average quarterback does. The only time we seem to get this processing issue is when we're talking about the athletic black quarterback. It's the only time. Hey, stop taking offense to something if you meant no offense. If I ask you a question of, are you questioning his intelligence? And you tell me no, you need to explain to me what you mean by processing. And if you say something that doesn't actually have anything to do with processing, yes, I'm going to call you on it if we're having a discussion. If you immediately reduce the conversation to, oh, well, he's race baiting, then we can't have a conversation. I'm not race baiting you. I don't have to. If you're a racist, it shows. I don't have to coax you into being a racist. If you're a racist, it'll show. However, if you have a bias, that's not racism. If you just like a quarterback like Mac Jones more than you like a quarterback like Cam Newton, then just say that. Hey, Cam Newton can be successful in this offense. He's shown that he can. But I like what Mac Jones brings to the table. I like that he gets rid of the ball quickly. He doesn't hold on to it. I like the fact that he's able to keep the chains moving because he's going to pick up all of those small yards on the dump offs and checkouts. He's usually going to throw that first read. I like a Mac Jones, if that's what you want to say. You don't have to diss Cam Newton in order to boost up Mac Jones by saying things like, well, he processes the offense better than Cam Newton does. How ridiculous is that? He processes an offense that he's been in for 5 minutes better than somebody who's been in it now for over a year. When Cam Newton was rolling with the ones, he sure looked like he was processing well last week. Go figure. Is Mac Jones going to get to play against the defense all week and then play them on game day during the regular season? Is it going to be vanilla defense that he's playing during the regular season? Are they going to hold out all of the starters during the regular season? Absolutely not. To look at that game and to decide from that game that the processing of Mac Jones is better than the processing of Cam Newton is asinine. And it speaks to a bias that we have when it comes to the evaluation of athletic black quarterbacks. I would say athletic white quarterbacks, or I would say athletic quarterbacks, but that's not true because no one ever questions Taysom Hill's ability to process. Even though Taysom Hill is one of the worst processors in the history of quarterbacking. Go and look at those games at BYU. He was utterly awful throwing the ball. He got an opportunity to then play quarterback. And even when they started using him at other positions, they still allowed him to continue to groom at quarterback. Yet Terrell Pryor, who was infinitely better at quarterback than Taysom Hill ever was in college, came to the NFL, got a raw deal, performed decently, couldn't stick, and then they moved him to play wide receiver. Then his body broke down. Why? Because he's a quarterback. He's not a wide receiver. Go figure. Why didn't Taysom Hill's body break down, you ask? Because all he did at BYU well was run. Go look at the stats. Go look at the games. This isn't a diss on Taysom Hill, but no one's ever questioned Taysom Hill's ability to process. That's what it comes down to. Find me another XYZ athletic quarterback. No one's ever questioned Zach Wilson's ability to process. Trace McSorley. No one's ever talked about his ability to process. So why the athletic black quarterbacks then? I don't know. You tell me. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. We do this thing a few times a week. Look out. I have a good amount of stuff dropping this week on the YouTube channel. You can see the cover 3 work I did right now. You can also read the stuff that I've got coming down the pipe from The Athletic. I'm back to my betting column, my best bets that come out this week, I believe on Wednesday through The Athletic. I'll be covering all of the group of 5 with my best bets and some FCS for you FCS people out there. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you check out the videos. I'll probably do another You Bet where I go, over some other things that I may not have touched on my athletic piece. But rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on YouTube, you know what to do. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. We'll talk to you later. Peace.